What is up, speckers, traders, and players? I want to have a conversation with you guys today about barrier of entry. I get this question a lot. People think that you have to have a certain sum of money to invest in Magic cards, and generally they think that you need a decent amount of money to do that. So there's a barrier of entry, or the perception of a barrier of entry to certain people. And I see a lot of YouTubers out there talking about financing, talking about cards to get, and they talk about reserve list cards, and this card is cheap, and these cards have dropped 50% this year because collectibles and the stock market are all down. And they go through a list of cards that are, 25, 50, $100. And they're like, this is a great time to get into these cards. This is a great time to buy. $25 isn't that much. You're right, $25 might not be a lot, or might not be a lot to most people. But that's when you're buying one card. And most of the time, when you're doing some investing in whatever it is that you're investing in, whether it be stocks or some other investment that you've chosen, generally you don't buy one of something, right? You're not like, oh, I'm going to buy one share of GM. I'm going to buy one share of Ford. Likewise, you're not going to want to invest and say, hey, I'm going to buy one card and it's going to cost me $40 or $100. And hopefully in a couple of years, this thing will go up 10% or 5% or 20%. So I just wanted to go through some examples today of cards that I've bought. And sure, some cards that I buy are more expensive, but there are plenty of cards that are very inexpensive that really is a very low entry point into Magic where you can buy many copies of that card and hopefully that card will go up. Now, I've already spoken in many of my videos about the things that I look at when I invest in cards. Mainly, does that card do something that's unique that another card in Magic doesn't do, or very few cards in Magic do? And two, is it a reprint, and has the price come down enough from this reprint that it has affected the price of the card significantly? Something drops 70, 80%, 90%. That's a really good target to look at, because even if it doesn't go back up to its previous price, you still have a good shot at that card rising in price, rising in value, and being able to 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x your money. Now, they're not all winners, right? You're going to pick some winners, you're going to pick some losers, and you're going to pick some cards that don't really lose you anything, but they may not make you a lot either. So let's go over some cards here that I've got. We're going to start with cards that have really been very inexpensive to get into, that I've bought multiple copies of. And, it's one thing to say, hey, I'm buying these cards, and these cards are inexpensive, and you have the ability or the possibility to make money on these cards. I'm going to show you cards that I've purchased, what I purchased them for, and what I've sold them for, so that you know that you can sell these cards, that the value has gone up. You'll see the dates that I entered into these cards, and you'll see the dates that I exited. So let's get started. Let me get my ugly mug off the screen, and we will see about getting the info up here for you. All right. So let me start this slideshow, and let's get to this. The first thing that I'm going to show you here is this is part of an email that was generated when I purchased these cards from MTG Mint Card, and this is what I purchased. We're going to talk specifically about the 24 Authority of the Consuls from Kaladesh. Now, I bought these cards. Is there a date on here? Yep. So Thursday, the 1st of November in 2018. And I bought 24 of them for $29.76. So a little bit more than $1 a piece. Now you can see this order here that was fulfilled this year. So I've been holding this card for almost 4 years. But I paid a little bit over $1 for it. You can see here that it shipped, no tracking. They only bought one. The total was $8.69. And after fees, I'm going to get about 727 minus the 55 cents that it cost me to ship this thing, right? So I'm going to get roughly $6.72, I think is what it's going to work out to. So $6.72 on a dollar and change card. That's a pretty good return, right? So this is very low cost of entry. You can see I bought 24 of them. It cost me less than 30 bucks. We're talking about, somebody's talking about buying this reserve list card or buying this, card for $20, $10, $15, $50. I bought 24 of them for the price of potentially one card, and am now selling them at $8.69 and making quite a bit of money here, right? So that's one example. We've got another one here. This is Bishop of Wings. I spec'd on Bishop of Wings quite a bit. This is one of my orders. I paid, as you can see, 42 cents for 24 of them. I will tell you that this is the most I paid for Bishop of Wings. I've got several other orders that I placed at 38 cents for other quantities. And as you can see, I bought these in, let's see, where's the date? 2019, June 26th of 2019. Again, sales are this year, so this is about 3 years, almost 3 years to the day, right? Just a few days off. 42 cents is what I paid for Bishop of Wings. Very affordable. I bought 24 of them. I paid for tax, right? I paid the tax on this. I didn't get charged shipping because it was over $5 on TCG Player. And so my total cost here was $10.72. Now, if you look, I sold 4 copies here, playset of Bishop of Wings. Each one was $7.29 for a total of $29.16. After the fees, I'm going to net $25.10 from TCG Player, and then it cost me another $3 and roughly 50 cents to ship this with tracking. I always put tracking on anything that's $20 and over. Even some things, if it's like $18, $19, I prefer to put tracking on that anyway because I want to make sure it gets to its destination and that I can prove it got there. I don't want to lose that 20 bucks or that $18. So as you can see here, I paid $10.72 for 24 of them. I've gotten that back and at least doubled my money, right? Almost 2.5x my money just on this one order of 4, which leaves me 20 more to sell. Now, they've dropped a little bit since from this price, but I don't care. I'm just going to hold the card, and as, things go up and go down and go up and go down, if it reaches this price again, they'll continue to sell on TCG. If they don't, then they won't, and I'm okay with that. I can just leave it there and wait for it to hit my price point. I'm not in a position where I have to chase that money and get that money back. And for this, I've already paid with these 4 for the entire order and made 1.5 times that on top of it, so I can sit on the other 20. And I've got a bunch of these. Like I said, I paid 38 cents for a bunch of these. So let's move on to the next one. Here you can see additional Bishop of Wings. This sold on 5/30, and it sold for $7.29. This person bought 2 of them. I did not ship with tracking here because it was under $15. It wasn't really close to $20, so no tracking there. So I netted $12.40 minus the 55-cent stamp, which puts me at $11.85. And then I've got another order here at the bottom for 1. This person paid $6.29, and this was on 5/28. So you can see what happened here is my initial price target was $6.29 here. It sold for $6.29. It started to go up. People were starting to buy this card. It was in demand. So I raised my price, right? I kept an eye on it. I raised my price by $1, sold 2 more, and then sold 4 more for that extra $1. So once I see that price rise, I made an extra $6 here. I made $4 on the other order that I did. I made $2 here, more than the $6.29. So you got to keep an eye on your product, on your inventory. Once something sells, you look, why did it sell? Why did it hit my target? And is there something going on that this price is rising quickly? And can I get some additional revenue from this. You know, I don't just sit on it. I see that one sold, and I go and investigate and look what's going on to see how much more I can get out of this, right? Because that's why we're in this. That's why we're in this business, in this finance business, is to take a profit and try to sell at the top and buy at the bottom. All right, this is another card here. You can see Gatecrash Illusionists Bracers. I picked these up back in 2014, so a long time ago. I held onto them for a while. I knew this was a really good card. You can see here from this vendor, I picked up 8 at a quarter a piece. And then I sold a one for $7.59, and then I sold another one for $7.59. So, you know, look at the multiplier on that. I mean, I paid $2.48 for 8 of them just from one order, selling one. I got to keep $6.31 minus the 55 cents. So roughly $5.76, it looks like. $5.76 in my pocket, and then the $6.30 on the next one that I made minus 55 cents. I got to keep that as well, right? Because I got to ship both of these out. It's costing me 55 cents to ship out. I get to keep the rest of my money. I've already made all my money on this particular transaction, and everything else that I'm getting is additional money that I can just put aside and reinvest into Magic. So I spent $2.48. I've gotten way more than that back, and I can take that money and reinvest it into products like this, and then I don't care about sitting on it for a while to make my money back. Here we have Red Elemental Blast. As you can see, I picked these up when Masters 25 came out. The price on this absolutely tanked, went down to 28 cents. I managed to get 38 from this vendor, and now, as you can see from this transaction, again this year, this is 2019 to 2022, so a little over 3 years here from February to May. They're $4.98 each. I sold a play set. $19.92 was the total cost to them. $17.04 is what I netted. I did ship it with tracking. As you can see, there was a tracking number there. So another $3.50 off of that, which puts me at $14.46, or no, $14.54, I think. $14.54. So the entire thing, the entire 38 quantity cost me $11.32, and I've already made that back in one transaction selling 4 of them, which means I still have 34 left to sell. And if I get anywhere near this price, which is my target, and I'm just going to leave it there until I get it, it is all gravy from here. This is, everything is mine, right? And I just put that money aside, and I just reinvest it in Magic. You got a Magic bankroll, just like anything else. You use that money for Magic. You don't dip into your stuff. You don't charge things on credit cards. You say, hey, I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to watch this bankroll grow. And as it grows, you just keep reinvesting it, all right? Again, $11.32. You know, some people may have a difficult time with that, but I showed you an example with $2.48. I get it. You know, sometimes you got to tighten the belt. Times are tough. You're trying to do a little side hustle, but I just want to show you that it is possible with small amounts of money to get fairly large returns, percentage returns on your money. I mean, you're not going to make this stuff in the bank, and you know, most people in the stock market do not make this type of return. It's very, very uncommon. But with Magic, at least in my opinion, it's fairly easy. We know that it's cyclical. We know that reprints happen on a schedule. Sure, we may not be able to predict when Wizards is going to print a certain card, but I never get upset when reprints happen. Sorry, that's the rain coming down pretty hard here if that rain is getting picked up on the mic. But I never, ever, ever get upset at reprints. I never look at it and say, oh, man, my collection just took a hit. They printed, you know, these 6 cards in this set that devalued my collection. I look at it as a buying opportunity. Remember, buy when the market is down, sell when the market is up. And that's how you're going to be able to consistently make profits in Magic. You don't have to invest in sealed product. You don't have to spend lots of money. There's plenty of low-cost opportunities to make money here. What's next? What do we got here? Reconnaissance. Oh man, this was a good one here. So Reconnaissance has come back down since this price. Again, I got lucky. I set a price that I wanted to sell at. It ended up hitting that. It spiked. My Reconnaissance sold, and then now it's come back down. But if you look at this, I bought 34 of them at $1.48 each. This was back in 2016. It's been 6 years here, 5.5 years really. But I paid for 34 of them. I paid $51.31. And in one transaction selling one card, I got $20.41 net, and then I shipped it with tracking $3.50, so roughly $16.91 in profit here. Well, not in profit, but $16.91 after fees. That's what I get to keep, and my total cost was $51.31. So I sell 2 more of these cards anywhere near this price. I've paid for all 34 of them, and I'll have 31 left to just make money. Just brrr, let the money machine go brrr. One of the other things I want to point out here is you can see Reconnaissance, Exodus. The condition that I bought these in says near mint, but I'm selling it at lightly played. One of the reasons I do that is I go over and look at the cards, and if there's ever any question that this thing is not near mint, especially when somebody's buying a $23 card, I just put it as lightly played. The difference when you look at lightly played and near mint, the price difference isn't that much, and it's worth it to me to take less profit and not end up with a complaint or somebody saying, hey, this has got a little ding in, it's not really near mint, it's a $20 card. So yeah, I bought it at near mint. I think I got them all at near mint, but lightly played. There you go. I just put it lightly played, and there's no question that they're getting, if mine are near mint and I put it at lightly played, they're super happy when they get this card in the mail. And they're like, oh my God, it said lightly played. This thing is like near mint. So satisfied customers, you take a small hit, but it's just worth it. That's one of my recommendations here. One of my secrets. Giving you guys all my secrets. All right, this one is not one that has sold yet, but I wanted to show you this. I bought this in July 24th of 2018. I picked these up for 39 cents. There were several vendors selling these for 39 cents at the time. You can see here the quantity that I purchased. Full disclosure here, I actually bought over 500 of these at the 39-cent price, and I've set my price that I want to get. This is the interface for the seller interface on TCG Player. You can see here that I've got these listed as near mint. $3.99 is what I'm looking for. I've had this listed for well over a year. At this point, I started seeing this thing hit the $2 mark, etc. And so getting close to $2. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to put them up now. I'm going to put in what I want to get for them. And when it hits that price, I'll get a notification that it's sold. You can see the quantity is 7. This is another thing that I suggest. So, one of these vendors listed 283 of these at one time. And I bought for 39 cents. And I bought all 283 of them. I never list my full quantity. I just never do it. As you can see, I put 7 in here. I've got over 500. If something happens and this thing spikes overnight and you've got your entire inventory up here, you will come back to a crap ton of sold product that is now being sold. You've sold it at $4 and it might be $8, $7, $10, $12. We don't know what spoilers are going to happen, what cards are going to come out, what's going to happen with a card. I never list my entire inventory up here, and I recommend that you do not do that as well. You guys hear complaints. We hear complaints all the time about, I ordered these cards and the vendor canceled them on me. And, I got my order refunded, but I really wanted the card. And the speculation is that vendors do that because of card spikes and they left money on the table and they want to try to recoup that money. So they cancel it and then they relist the card at the higher price. That's never going to happen with me. Why? Because I don't list all my cards, is one of the reasons. I bought this thing for 39 cents. It's $3.99. I'm getting 10x my money here. If it does spike, obviously I want the additional money. This is a business. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to make a profit, and I want the most profit that I can make. But if I wake up the next morning and all 7 are sold at $3.99, I don't care. I'm going to honor all of those sales and give those people their $4 card, even if the card, let's say something crazy happens like it happened with Dark Depths years ago, right? Went from a $2 rare to a $30 rare overnight because of Vampire Hexmage. We kind of talked about this in one of my videos the other day. If this was a Dark Depths situation and I've got it for $4 and all of a sudden it's $30, all 7 people who bought that card, or all 7, or whoever bought it, if it was one person who bought all 7, 2 people who bought the 7, I don't care. They're all getting their cards for $3.99. Good on them. Because A, I'm still making the profit that I originally wanted. B, I didn't list my entire inventory, so I didn't get cleaned out of 500 Regal Forces at $4 when it's a $30 card. So I will adjust my prices accordingly, and I will honor every single sale that happens, regardless of what price spikes happen. So another little tidbit, another little secret for you guys to think about when you're putting stuff up on TCG Player. All right, what do we got next? I think this coming to the end of the video here. Yep. So this one I haven't listed yet, but I just wanted to show you, sure, I've shown you a bunch of cheap cards, but I also buy more expensive cards sometimes. This is a mid-range card. It's over $10, so it's not considered budget. You can see that I bought 8 near mint foil Growing Rights of Itlimoc from this vendor at the time. This was 2019, and Growing Rights of Itlimoc was still pretty cheap. Near mint foil, $11.50. This is one of those examples where I look at the card and I say, oh my God, this thing is a better Gaia's Cradle than Gaia's Cradle on its flip side. And in green, it's super easy to flip. Gaia's Cradle continues to rise in price, and it's going to price Commander players out of Gaia's Cradle. You're not going to have Commander players who are going to be able to spend $800, $900, $1,000, $1,200. Gaia's Cradle has hit all those price points that I just talked about, right? You're not going to have Commander players that have that kind of disposable income to put on one card in their deck. There are some players that are going to be able to do that. The vast majority are not. So I looked at this card and I said, wow, it's not exactly a Gaia's Cradle, but it's the closest thing we're going to get in modern time to a reserve list card like Gaia's Cradle. And at $11.50 for near mint foil, that seems like a pretty cheap entry point for me. Now you can see that as of today, the foil price is listed as $33.77 for the market price on TCG Player. I got in at $11.50. I've pretty much 3x'd my money at this point, and I'm still not putting these up. I really do think these have so much further to grow. We are in a recession right now with collectibles. The next time we get a bull market in collectibles, and Gaia's Cradle goes from the $800 or $700 or whatever it is today to $11, $12, $13, $15, $16, $2,000. We don't know where it's going to stop, right? Growing Rights of Itlimoc is going to see, at least in my opinion, is going to see significant growth when that happens. As more and more players come into Commander, as more and more players want to play a Gaia's Cradle-like card in green, this price is just going to go up. As long as this thing does not get reprinted, I think this should hit $60 to $90. When it gets to that price point, I will start to list my copies. So that's a little bit of my thought process. If you guys liked this video, hit the like button, share, tell all your friends about it, leave me some comments down below. Let me know if you have any questions, what you thought of the video, anything that you'd like to see on the channel in the future. This is really the type of stuff that I created the channel for. I do box openings because I know a bunch of people like that kind of stuff as well, and I try to mix it in there along with the mailbag, etc. Mailbag at least lets you see the kind of stuff that I'm buying and gives you a little peek into my mind and the kind of stuff that I'm picking up. And if you watch my mailbag videos, you'll see that I pick up a ton of cheap cards for pennies and just sit on them. All right, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time. Peace!